Who were the Aztecs? A civilization of gold, gods, and blood. In the heart of ancient Mexico, a mighty empire was rising. They built floating cities, grew crops on water, and worshipped powerful gods. At the height of their empire, they held power over more than 5 million people across vast lands. According to legend, they witnessed an eagle devouring a serpent, and right on that sacred, they named their grand capital Tenochtitlan, a city they believe was touched by the gods themselves. They worshiped powerful deities like Huitzilopochtli, the fierce god of war and the blazing sun. Their sacred rituals were intense, often brutal, not meant for the faint of heart. Beating hearts were torn from chests and offered to the sky as gifts to the gods. To them, sacrifice wasn't an end. It was honor, a sacred duty to the gods. They believed the sun craved blood to rise. Every single day, a debt paid in sacrifice. Without sacrifice, they believed the sun would fall, and the world would end in darkness. And so they offered hearts, torn and trembling, to keep the sun burning in the sky. For warriors, being chosen was the highest honor, a glorious path to the gods. Some walked to the altar with calm hearts, even smiling, ready to meet the gods. The ritual was a breathtaking spectacle. Pounding drums, roaring fire, and the priest chanted in ancient Nahuatl, his voice rising to summon the gods from the heavens. The obsidian blade caught the light, gleaming coldly just before the final strike. One strike, one scream, one soul offered to the gods. And as the blood touched the earth, the sun rose once again. The people cheered, their voices echoing through the city, convinced the gods were pleased. To them, sacrifice wasn't an act of horror. It was an offering of hope, a promise of balance. It was balance. It was cosmic order. It was their divine duty, written in the stars. Even children were raised to see the beauty in sacrifice, a sacred gift, not a loss. Every heartbeat, a whisper to the gods. Every heartbeat, an offering. They misunderstood a civilization far older, far deeper than their own. They called it savage, but to those who lived it, it was sacred. Because for the Aztecs, death was not the end, it was life, reborn through sacrifice. And they gave, with faith unshaken, until the end came. Above it all, the gods watched, silent and eternal. But darkness was coming, from beyond the seas, a storm the gods did not send. The prophecy had warned them, long before the sails touched the horizon. A god with white skin would return from the east, bringing fire and fate. And so, they prepared not for war, but for the return of a god. Not just with weapons, but with belief, sharpened by centuries of faith. As the shadows deepened, Tenochtitlan held its breath, sensing the storm to come. But fate was already marching. Step by step, across the waves, the skies trembled, the earth stood still. This was only the beginning.